What's going on, y'all? What it is. So let's go ahead and slide on this topic, and I want to discuss the situation that transpired with Rick Ross when he went to perform at a festival in Vancouver, Canada. Now, we all know that Rick Ross and Drake has been having this long-standing beef, and it's getting pretty out of hand. So after Officer Ricky was done performing, he tried to get cute and he asked the DJ to play Kendrick Lamar's diss track towards Drake, "They Not Like Us." Now, I will say that this was a pretty brave move, but a stupid move in the same breath by Rick, thinking that he could go and play a diss track dissing the country's biggest superstar in Drake and get away with it. Now, I don't know if he thought that he would have caught some slack based off of the fact that he was performing in Vancouver when he did this instead of being in Toronto, where Drake is actually from. But anyways, Rick Ross ended up getting confronted for his antics, and a few dudes surrounded him. They started questioning him. Now, for the most part, it seems that Rick was standing on business, but then these dudes decided to get active and they swung on Rick Ross and his security guards. And Rick Ross, in my estimation, from what I saw, panicked and headed towards the nearest exit. Now, a lot of people said that Rick Ross did what he was supposed to do by getting up out of there. The main objective is to protect the artist, but my thing is, why are you moving like that in Canada when you know you got beef with Drake? You should have had more than about 3 or 4 homeboys with you. You should have at least went about 20 to 30 deep. You're still going to be outnumbered at the end of the day. And I just feel going to Canada with just 3 or 4 of your homeboys is very reckless and irresponsible, given the fact that you know you got static in that country. But anyway, Rick Ross's security ended up getting towed up and Rick Ross ran. He left his security high and dry. You know, and it just goes to show that these individuals that claim that they're so gangster, that's not really the case. I saw the look of fear in Rick Ross's eyes as he hit that corner and got the hell out of Dodge. Now, they're saying that a couple of the individuals that confronted Rick Ross is a part of the popular and dangerous biker gang called the Hells Angels, and they're trying to say that Drake sent these individuals anyway to confront Rick Ross. I don't know how true that is, but I believe DJ Academics reported that. Now, the next day, Drake decided to return the pettiness by liking a post in regards to Rick Ross and his camp getting dragged, and the post said, "Big Dog approves Officer Ricky's beatdown," and as you can see that Drake liked it, who goes by Champagne Poppy on Instagram. Now, we all know, and if you don't know, Rick Ross and 50 Cent has had their issues in the past, and they still have ongoing issues to this day, excuse me. And so basically, of course, 50 Cent was going to take to the internet and troll Rick Ross, and this is what he had to say.
You know, I just saw a very unfortunate situation that took place in Canada, and I wanted to say to everyone, you know, that I hope that that brother made it home safely. I hope that he now has a different perspective and a better sense of what to do and what not to do while you're out in the world, you know? That part where the young guy went like, he did this little move and got knocked out, like right there. That does not reflect him. That reflects his camp. And he might need to go get the Dream Chasers or the 305 Killer.
Alright, so you guys just heard what 50 Cent had to say, and I want you guys to pay close attention to what 50 said at the end, saying that Rick Ross needed to go get his people from the 305, but we know that 50 said it in a different way. Basically, he was mocking the 305. Now, what I want to play you guys is what Uncle Luke had to say about the whole entire situation involving Rick Ross and Drake, and he subliminally responds to 50 Cent. I want you guys to take the time to drop down in the comments and leave your thoughts on this whole particular situation, all right? Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.
This whole fighting my boy Ross and his guys in Canada, that's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. Unacceptable. That don't happen. That don't supposed to happen. And what's more unacceptable is when Mr. Drake liked the post. That also is unacceptable. I expect more out of Mr. Drake. When there is violence, you don't condone it. You should be bigger than that. Mr. Drake, you should be bigger than that. When there's violence, condone that. You don't like no posters and all that, because here's what happens. there's always a backlash of it all. Here's what happens when now you've inserted yourself. Even if you were not involved, half of the country think you set the man up. They book a show in Canada, and you send your goons out there to agitate and start a fight with Ross. And y'all do what you do on the TV. Half the country think that. When you, Mr. Drake, like the post, you just inserted yourself into violence toward Mr. Ross and his crew. Now, let me just say this. As a broker, a piece for Tupac and Biggie, I seen how this end, man. I mean, these other young guys, we're going to have a conversation with a lot of these other young guys who dying, these senseless deaths and these songs and all that. Y'all brothers are talented. Y'all got to understand, y'all talented. Y'all don't need that. Y'all talented is getting people to buy the records. People are buying your records because they like the music. They like what you're saying in the records. So leave it there, young fellas. But now these grown ass right here, Mr. Drake and Mr. Ross. When you like the post and you on there doing your little, okay, it's a beautiful day in Canada, and you like the post, you just inserted yourself in some. Now, look how this all play out. I'll keep it 1,000. Look how it all play out. Oh, so half the country thinking that Roston played the record, the Kendrick Lamar record, and he got jumped on because he played the Kendrick Lamar record. So now you got a whole West Coast of people, they at your head. Oh, that's what we doing? You don't need that, Mr. Drake. You don't need to be confined. You're too talented. I like you. I got friends that like you. I don't know you personally. Don't need to know you personally. But you're too talented to insert yourself in some that you're not really about. To have a whole coast at your head. You don't want that. I don't want that for you. Now here's how this works out. Because again, look, I had the same conversation with Biggie and Pop. I'm probably one of the only few that could talk to them straight up. I was on the road with Biggie when people would be singing Biggie songs in the stadium. Singing Pac this song while Biggie on stage. I seen this thing. And I've seen this man, like, man, I'm not really about that. I love Buddy. Biggie never jumped into the. Biggie never said anything. He was like, look, man, I'm leaving that on, man. I ain't really on that. I talked to Biggie. I talked to Pac. I went to Suge nightclub as soon as Pac got out of jail and had a conversation with him on this here. Hey, Pac, look here, man. Same thing I'm saying to y'all. Leave this on, boss. Because it's not going to be the rapper pull the trigger. It's not going to be the rapper pull the trigger. It's not going to be the rapper that robs somebody. It's not going to be the rapper that do something. No, it's going to be somebody looking for a come up. It's going to be somebody looking for a come up. Or it's going to be some super fan who going to then do the. You don't be knowing where it's coming from. So I would have expected Mr. Drake to be like, yo, I don't condone violence. That ain't what it is. I don't have nothing to do with that or none of that. You feel me? Because y'all can play the little games where you're talking on this social media shit, and you're doing your little texting and you're tweeting and you're talking and all the however y'all say whatever y'all want to say about each other. You can do that on here. But when you go to putting hands on people, that's when it's a whole nother level. When you go putting hands on people, that go to a whole nother level. So people didn't have to put hands on you. And then they can have a conversation about it. You got to be the bigger person than that. Y'all on here doing all this. Sticks and stones may hurt my bones. Word would never hurt me. Ain't nobody put no hands on nobody but until now. See, all these dudes going to get on here and they going to talk that stuff and all that, and they're going to think this is a game. This is not a game. Because you put your hands on your homeboys put their hands on, they did not put their hands on Ross. They put their hands on Sam and them other people who are with Ross. The rapper never gets hands put on them. It's the other people, and then it's the other people that really be about their life. It be the other people who be with the rapper who really on that shit. The rapper just takes these other people who be with them because they're in them streets every day, and they take them with them to get them out of the streets to try to save their lives. But then now when you go to put your hands on them dudes, them dudes about their life. They ain't with the sucker. I'm trying to tell y'all, I'm putting you up on game now. You ain't never seen no rapper with no bunch of valedictorian scholars, and all that. What we do is we take our dogs, dudes who we came up with, and we try to show them a better life. We take them around the world. We put them on the plane. We fly them over here. You come on, man, cause I already know you hard in them streets. Let me show you some different. Let me put you on game. Let me get you in this business some kind of way so you can change your life. But then now when you put that street on one of these streets, dude, in this rap game, bruh, the kid who was laying down on the ground, I'm going to leave that like that. So it ain't the rapper. It's not the rapper. The rapper never gets touched. The rapper never gets touched. He gets backed up. He may get a little push or shove, but then it's the guys around. And then what ends up happening is you condone it. No, you don't want to do that. You got to be smarter than that. You got to be like, hey, look here, man, I don't condone no violence. Let me get on the phone. Hey, man, look here, man. Look, man, I ain't with them people. Now, if you with them people now, then you go tweet, yeah, good job. And then you gotta deal with the consequences that come behind that. It ain't gonna be the rapper that touch you, it's gonna be the people who are around you. And for all you other guys who think this is a joke, everybody else who think it's a joke, it's not a joke, boss. And I expect more out of my elder rappers. Everything ain't funny. Everything ain't joke business. Everything ain't joke business. I expect guys who've been in the game for a long time. This is not the time when people go to putting hands on people. This is not the time to joke. This ain't no joke, bruh. This is not the time to joke, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't joke. And then when you invoke 305 in that you don't want to do. This one thing about it, we got a whole bunch of people down here that I said a long time ago. We got a whole bunch of people down here that I said a long time ago, y'all need to check these people at the door. But then obviously we had a lot of groupie people around here start bringing these dudes around here and allowing them to just come run up and down here. But they running around on South Beach. Let me just let y'all know that right now. That's South Beach. The door could close for all you motherfuckers real quick. The door could close for everybody. Don't invoke 305 in your jokes about that situation because you invoke a whole situation. So play your little games with your words. If you want to do wordplay with Ross and anybody else, Do your little wordplay with all that, but don't say, keep 305 out your mouth. I'm just telling you right now, because everybody has a part of their city where people really bleed this. Everybody has a part of their city. I don't care whether you're from Raleigh, North Carolina, you could be from Fayetteville, you could be from Brooklyn, you could be from the Bronx, you could be from Inglewood, everybody, you got people everywhere that bleed this. They ain't really with the Hollywoodness. I'm telling you right now. It's a lot of people who don't play like that. So when you're doing your little games with your rappers and you're running off at the mouth and you're joking them and all that, don't joke my city. I'm telling you that right now. Just don't joke the city, boss. Don't joke the city. We ain't no jokes. We are not South Beach. What you see over there on South Beach, that's them over there. People down here bleed this shit. Don't joke the city. So I'm just going to leave that like that. But for the most part, people, as an elder statesman that has seen two of my good friends, Biggie and Pac, die senselessly, and it wasn't by them pulling the trigger on them, each other, it was the people that surround them. I would hope that you two gentlemen get your shit together. Mr. Drake and Mr. Ross, because I don't want this to end like that. It shouldn't end like that. I'm going to be the elder statesman of it all. You don't want that. I leave it like that. Y'all can cut this however y'all want to cut it up, but I said it and I stand firm on it. Y'all have a nice night.